Hey, this is Joel Beachey, one of the fellows in training from Mayo Clinic, Rochester, Minnesota. I'm at the 2018 ACC Legislative Conference in Washington, D.C., and I'm joined here today by Dr. Andrew Miller. He's the current chair of the ACC Board of Governors. Thanks for joining us here today, Dr. Miller.
Thank you.
So, one of the things we wanted to chat with you about today, there's been some changes to the Medicare rules, and I was wondering if you could give us some updates on that.
Yes, so there are kind of three items that are important to our members in the changes in Medicare. The first is the one that's really getting the most press and probably the most heat right now, and that is the changes in E&M code. So, when we see patients in clinic and we evaluate them and manage their care, we then decipher how complex that care was, and we in general code people as a 2, a 3, a 4, or a 5, depending on their complexity in clinic. And so the government, in an attempt to try to reduce the burden of evaluation and paperwork, the paperwork side of it, is trying to simplify the coding, and that's a laudable idea. In so doing, they have created a singular code that would cover all patients in that 2, 3, 4, 5 category. And in general, that reimbursement now would come to a level, it's about a 3.6, if you code somebody a 3.6. And so in cardiology, we have a lot of patients that are complicated and have significant illnesses. And if you look across our practice and we polled the audience today, we find that the majority of patients are really coded at a 4 level. So it's a potential burden economically to our membership. And the idea being that maybe we shouldn't have to spend as much time doing the paperwork. Well, that's laudable, but we still spend a lot of time thinking about these very complicated patients, and it's not going to really change that time.
Sure.
So there's a lot of discussion. I think it will change in the future, but currently that's in the Medicare reform that's being discussed, and we'll see what it ends up looking like.
So would you be able to talk with us a little bit about the appropriate use criteria?
Yes. So the second thing that is in the Medicare portfolio for us is the appropriate use criteria, the demand that we use it a priori when ordering advanced imaging studies. So echo is kind of pulled out of there, but about everything else we will be required in 2020 to complete some clinical decision support mechanism that documents that we have documented appropriate use criteria for advanced imaging.
Sure.
And so there are a number of those tools out there. The college had one, but now it's really kind of proprietary tools that are coming to us. There's a list that you can get off the acc.org, and 2020 we'll see if that goes into effect. It is really legislated, so it would require legislative action to change that right now. It looks like it very well may go into effect. It's another topic that will affect practices. I guess the third topic area that is in Medicare is QPP, which is this large overarching thing we used to call MACRA. Now it's the Quality Payment Program. And as you know, there are kind of two arms of QPP. There's the MIPS arm, the Merit-Based Incentive Payment System, which is composed of quality, cost, computer activities, and improvement activities, and gets us a score. That arm of MACRA or QPP allows you to get a plus 4% or minus 4% or somewhere in the between adjustment to your Medicare payments. And if you perform really well, the idea was you might get a significant adjustment up. I'll tell you, my practice, we spent a lot of time in preparing ourselves for this. Our practice scored 100. We got a perfect score in MIPS. Well, it would be great. We spent a lot of time, a lot of effort doing this, and important things. We documented quality. We used Pinnacle, the ACC product, to do that, and it really was good for our practice. But the reimbursement for that, the Medicare reimbursement, is very cost neutral. So there was no real positive adjustment for that. In that, we got initially they announced a 2.02% increase, which is significant. So for every dollar that Medicare was going to pay me, they were going to give me $1.02. They just readjusted it now, so it's 1.88%, so it came down. So the other side of this is the APMs, or the Advanced Alternative Payment Models, where physicians or team or health services take some risk, and you're going to get potential of 5%. I think really that's where a lot of our practices are going to end up going, because that's where the models are going to drive us.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to come and chat with us about this. It's been really helpful to hear some of these updates about the Medicare rules. We really appreciate you taking the time to come and talk with us.
Great. Thank you.
All right. So for more videos like this, you can visit us at youtube.com/FITsontheGO.